Shalom, Brother Aaron, Roy Regime of Yahushua. And first and foremost, we'll say, Call Halor Yahweh, Bashem Yahushua, Bashem Rakakadash. Okay, I want to give double honors to the elders and leaders of the nation of Yasha Allah who's pushing and teaching this truth and sincerity, as well as the 1/3, the men, women, children, the elect who believe on the Lord, okay, with all their heart. I want to say Shalom. Okay, I have a heavy lesson today in the spirit. Wisdom is better than weapons of war. Okay, and the purpose for this lesson is basically that's what this is all about. Okay, this is a spiritual battle. Okay, not carnal. Okay, the men of the Lord, the believers, the Lord has given us a sword in the spirit. Okay, our weaponry, the way we fight, everything in life. Okay, not the way the world fight. Okay, Esau, the so-called white man, his blessing is carnal. He's a carnal being. That's why everything that's rooted in this world, this is his world, meaning he's in rulership right now. Everything is rooted in wickedness and carnality. Okay, military weaponry. Okay, he's the king of that. That is literally his blessing. So what we go through in life and everything, okay, we are to react spiritually, never carnal, spiritually. That's what the Lord gave us as Israel. He gave us that spiritual sword. He gave Esau a carnal, a physical sword. There's a reason why this man cannot be touched for this weaponry, number one in the world, military-wise, and all of these things. So even the times that we're coming into, this is why it's so important to seek the Lord, to know the Most High for yourself, to understand, have these scriptures resonating in your mind and your heart, because we are in battle 24/7. We're in a spiritual battle. Okay, against the spiritual demon Satan, and of course his physical counterpart who carry out his will on earth, the so-called white man, to destroy the children of Israel. Everything that's pushed and promoted in this society is warfare against the Lord's people. All right, now, by the Lord pouring out his spirit upon all flesh and awakening his remnant, his people in the last days, we are just coming into the perfection of our sword. This man has perfected his sword for a long time now, okay? Biological warfare, satellites in space, antimatter weaponry, anything you could think of carnal-wise, this man has perfected it, okay? So we cannot fight physically or carnal. Our weapon is more powerful than anything that can be physical on this earth, okay? And those are weapons of the spirit. That's our prayer through the Holy Spirit and these scriptures that's resonating in us, all right? So, let's pick it up first. Let's build. I want to just show who was given what and the way we fight, okay? So let's start. Let's get Genesis 27 and 39. Now, this is Esau's blessing, what was given to him, all right? And Esau said unto his father, Hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth and the dew from heaven. So the fatness of the earth is going into the riches and resources of this earth. Okay, gold, oil, money, that's who controls that. Esau, the so-called white man. Verse 40, and thy sword, and by thy sword shall thou live. That's the main point I want in verse 40, the beginning there. And by thy sword thou shalt live. So part of his blessing is his sword. That's going into weaponry. Once again, that is not what was given to us, Jacob. Okay, that his weaponry or his blessing is the sword. All right, now let's get Jake. Let's show you what the Lord gave us. Let's go to Psalms 147, 19 to 20. He showed his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. He had not dealt so with any nation. As for his judgments, they have not known them. Praise ye the Lord. So the word, the laws, commandments, the word of the Lord was committed into the trust of Israel, our nation. Okay, this word was given to us. Also, let's get Romans 3 and 1. What advantage then had the Jew? Or what profit is there in circumcision? Much in every way, chiefly but because that unto them were committed the oracles of Yahweh. The oracles of God is going into the same thing we just read: the laws, the statutes, the commandments, the secrets, the mysteries of this Bible. Okay, that's the highest level of power upon this earth, in this universe. Nothing is higher than the word of the Lord. That's true power. That trumps the sword that was given to Esau, the white man. All right, let's get Ecclesiasticus 8 and 4. Where the word of a king is, there is power. And who may say unto him, what doest thou? So the word of the Lord is power. Also, let's get Hebrews 4 and 12. For the word of Yahweh is quick and powerful, and sharper than any two-edged sword, piercing even to the dividing asunder of the soul and spirit, and of the joints and marrow, and is a discerner of the thoughts and intents of the heart. So the word of the Most High is quick and powerful and sharper than any two-edged sword. Just what we were saying. This spiritual sword that was committed into our nation, Israel, is more powerful than any type of carnal or physical weapon on this earth. So is when we learn to tap into that, okay, this is the fear of Esau. Okay, that's why even during the times of slavery, right, it was punishable by death if we were caught reading the Bible. This is why it's such a cover-up, a conspiracy to hide the identity of our nation as Israel. Because once they know, once we truly tap into this form of weaponry and power, it's a wrap. Okay, it's a wrap for their people, their nation, their kingdom, and then that will usher in the kingdom of heaven. We are now coming into the perfection of learning how to use our sword. Okay, so they know they're in trouble. They know their time is up, and this is why they what? It tells us in Revelation 12 and 12, okay, rejoice ye heavens. Okay, because the devil is coming down to you with great wrath because he know that he has but a short time. Okay, so now that we're coming into the perfection of how to use our sword spiritually, okay, now it's a problem for this man in his kingdom. All right, I want to get, let's go to Ecclesiastes 9 and 18. This is kind of the featured scripture where I got the title from. I'm going to start at 16, Ecclesiastes 9 and 16. Then said, our wisdom is better than strength. See that? Wisdom is better than strength. Nevertheless, the poor man's wisdom is despised, and his words are not heard. Okay, and the majority of our people, they do despise this wisdom because they don't truly know how powerful this is. Okay, they think reading the Bible is just another book. Okay, they think it's just some words that's written, or some people believe it, and no, we just read why the word of a king is there's power. Let's get verse 18. Wisdom is better than weapons of war, but one sinner destroyed much good. Okay, so once again, we're seeing wisdom is better than weapons of war. What wisdom? The wisdom of this Bible, these holy scriptures, okay? That's the living, breathing word of the Most High, like we read in Hebrews 4 and 12. Okay, wisdom, this word is more powerful than any type of weaponry or sword within this earth. Let's get 2 Corinthians 10:4. Let me start at 3. Though we walk in the flesh, we do not war after the flesh. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through Yahweh to the pulling down of strongholds. So showing you again, we don't fight carnal. Okay? Our weapons is what we just read, is mighty in the Lord to the pulling down of strongholds. What are the strongholds? Those lies, those demonic things over our minds, over our spirits that keep us bound, even over our nation. Okay, all the lies that the devil has set up over this earth and our minds to keep us spiritually bound. Okay, this word, it lifts, it breaks those strongholds. For the word, for the weapons of warfare are not carnal, but mighty through Yahweh to the pulling down of strongholds, casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalt itself against the knowledge of Yahweh, and bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of Yahushua. All right, let's also get let's see where we going from here. And I'm going through the spirit on this one, so y'all bear with me. Let's grab let's go to Jeremiah 1:10. See, I have this day set thee over the nations and over the kingdoms, to root out, to pull down, and to destroy, and to throw down, and to build, and to plant. So who is he set over the nations? Talking about the men of the Lord, specifically the prophets who were given the secrets of the Lord. I've set thee this day over the nations and over the kingdoms to root out. Root out what? All the lies and strongholds, like we read in 2 Corinthians 10:4. And to pull down. Pull down what? All the spiritual darkness, all the things that's been set up over this earth, okay? The wicked empire in general. Pull it down through the spirit. And to destroy, and to throw down, and to build, and to plant. What are we building and what are we planting? We planting seeds of righteousness, waking our people up. Okay, speaking this truth. This is how we do that. This is how we fight. This is our weapons. Every time these videos go out, every time we prophesy, okay, every time we hit the street corners, every time a new believer hears and repents and find out their identity and come into the truth, okay, this is how we build up. So through this truth is pulling down the stronghold and the lies, and is what? It's building the kingdom of heaven. This is why the Lord said, I believe it's St. Luke 17:20, the kingdom does not come by observation, but the kingdom is in you, roughly paraphrasing. Okay, the more we use our weapons of warfare, is pulling this satanic kingdom down. Okay, I want to get Sirach and Apocrypha. Sirach or Ecclesiasticus 10 and 14. The Lord had cast down the throne of the proud princes and set up the meek in their stead. What is the throne of the proud prince? Thrones represent rulership, kingdoms, governments. So it's saying the Lord is casting down the throne of the proud, and he's setting up the meek in their stead. Okay, so as you can see, this kingdom is falling. More people awaken, arising. This current world rulership is falling. Verse 15, the Lord had plucked up the roots of the proud nations and planted the lowly in their place. This is what's going on through what? The weapons of our warfare, through speaking his word. Verse 16, the Lord overthrew countries of the heathen and destroyed them by the foundations of the earth. Right? Also, let's get Jeremiah 28:8. The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries, against great kingdoms, of war, of evil, and of pestilence. So even the prophets of old time, when you read through all the books of the Bible, your prophets, Ezekiel, Jeremiah, Isaiah, notice what they all prophesied against. They were all prophesying against the wicked kingdoms during their time. Okay, whether it was Babylon, okay, the Assyrian Empire, so on and so forth, the Persian Empire, this is what they spoke and prophesied against it. I'm going to read it again. The prophets that had been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries, against great kingdoms, of what? They prophesied of war and of evil and of pestilence. This is the same spirit, the same thing the men of the Lord or the prophets are warning you and telling you today. This is why we do so many lessons through the spirit, telling you, hey, they got Jacob's trouble, war coming, pestilence, all of these things. Okay, the same stead. All right. Also, let's go to what is that? Hosea 6:5. Therefore I have hewed them by the prophets. I have slain them by the words of my mouth, and thy judgments are as the light that goeth forth. So I have hewed them by the prophets. To hew something is like you cutting it down. Like a tree, you hewing it down. Okay, so through the spirit of using our spiritual sword, this is what we're showing you. The Lord uses his prophets to what? To hew down the wicked empires, hew down the kingdoms, to hew down anything that's not of the Lord. Okay. Also, Jeremiah 5:14. Wherefore thus said the Most High Yahweh of hosts, because ye speak this word, behold, I will make my words in thy mouth fire, and this people wood, and it shall devour them. So showing you what happens in the spirit when we speak this word, or when this word is taught, or spoken, or prophesied the right way. The Lord said, I'm going to make my words in your mouth like a fire. What does fire do? It consumes anything that's not like the Lord. So it's consuming all wickedness. It's consuming the wicked kingdom. Okay? Anything that's not like of the Lord, this is what happens. Okay? It's consuming it, devouring it. Precept, Jeremiah 23:29. Is not my word likened to a fire? See that? Said the Lord, and like a hammer that breaketh the rock in pieces. So this word is a fire that's consuming and devouring, and it's like a hammer that's breaking anything that's unlike the Most High. See, so this is what the men of the Lord are doing through the Spirit. Okay, so this is why what this word is taught, spoken. Okay, the kingdom is being built. Okay, but everything, the wicked empire, the nation, everything Esau has put forth that's not of the Lord, which is everything, is what is devouring, is coming down. Let's grab what else? Where we want to go from here? Let's see. Let's get Ephesians 6:10. Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of Yahweh, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against rulers of the darkness of this world. See that? Against spiritual wickedness in high places. Wherefore take unto you the whole armor of Yahweh, that ye may be able to withstand the evil day. And having done all to stand, stand therefore, having your loins girt about with truth, and having on the breastplate of righteousness, and your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace. And above all, take the shield of faith, wherewith you may be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked. Verse 17 is the main point. And take up the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of the Most High. So the sword of the Spirit is the word of the Lord. This was entrusted and given to our nation. Okay, so this is what we swinging. When they say I've hewed them down by the word of the prophets, this and the spirit, that's what we doing. We hewing, we swinging that sword, everything that's unlike the Lord, and it's cutting it down. See, this is why you see once again Babylon starting to fall, white man losing power, and what? Our people, our nation rising. You're literally witnessing the kingdom being built, the house of David being built before your eyes, that third temple, okay, which is the house of David, the great awakening is being built. Okay, what? Because we're now tapped into our weaponry using that sword of the Spirit. All right, let's get Revelations of, what is that, 19:15? This is Yahweh Shah, okay, taking down the nations and devouring his enemies. Let's see how he does that. Revelation 19:15. And out of his mouth goeth a sharp sword, and with it he should smite the nations, and he shall rule them with a rod of iron, and he treadeth the winepress of the fierceness of the wrath of Almighty Yahweh. Okay, but out of his mouth goeth a sharp sword, that with it he should smite the nations. Okay, that sharp sword that's going out of the Lord's mouth is talking about what? The word. Okay, all he has to do is speak the word. Same thing he's giving to us. We are the extension or the arm of the Lord as his men, his prophets. We're speaking this word in this way. It's devouring our enemies. See that? Let's get a precept. 2 Maccabees 15:16. And take this holy sword, a gift from Yahweh, with the which thou shalt wound thy adversaries. See that? Take this holy sword, a gift from Yahweh, with the which thou shalt wound thy adversaries. So we use the spiritual sword, the weaponry that the Lord has given us. This is how we wound our adversaries. Not like 2/3, not like these Negroes in the streets who think it's about to gat, a blinky, a pew pew gun and all that. No, that doesn't do nothing. We fight that fight. All we do is what you've been saying 2/3 do: more funerals, more debts. That's not what we're giving to our people. Okay, whether it's against each other, the time we about to come into this Jacob trouble, this dollar collapse, and all of that. A lot of people think they go, well, man, we got guns too. We got guns here. We got AKs and all this. You gotta be a fool. You think you could fight against Esau with his blessing? This man got stuff that, he could literally got laser beams and satellites that could see the date on a penny from space. Okay, he got all kind of, like I said, anti-matter weapons. Okay, robot dogs, all kind of things. Okay, that you could, everything that you see in these movies, this man really got that plus more. Okay, then had it years ago. Okay, years and years ago, up to we talking 30, 40 years ago, this man had guns that could shoot out lasers, melt you on the spot. Okay, so try to fight against Esau if you want to, carnal, with his blessing. See how that's going to work out for you. No, you better tap into the spirit. This is what the Lord gave us. Okay, and as we read, nothing could compare with what is what you can see or what you can't see, shall I say. The thing you can't see is always more powerful than what you can see. So the spirit is always more powerful than the natural or the physical. All right, let me grab this quick precept on that. Matter of fact, what is that? 1 John 4:4. Just to show you what the Lord given us, it can't nothing top that. Ye are of Yahweh, little children, and have overcome them, because greater is he that is in you than he that is in the world. See that? Greater is what was in us. Okay, the Holy Spirit, the Most High's word that resonates in us, this spiritual sword, our weaponry, greater is that than anything that's in this world. Okay, so that's the season that we coming into, or that we in. Esau has perfected his sword. Now, if you wise, okay, the ones who the Lord has given this understanding to, perfect it. Okay, remember that it's another, I believe it's Proverbs 27:17, iron sharpening iron. This is what we should be doing through the spirit, perfecting your spiritual sword, because you're gonna need it. Okay, let me get a couple more. What else? Revelations I'll come back to that. I had it in my spirit when I get another. Let's get St. Mark 11:23. For verily I say unto you that whosoever shall say unto this mountain, be thou removed and be cast into the sea, and shall not doubt in his heart, but shall believe that those things which he said shall come to pass, he shall have whatsoever he said. Now the point is in the first part of this, verse 23. For verily I say unto you that whosoever shall say unto this mountain. Now we know you got physical mountains, but also in the Bible, mountains refers to governments, kingdoms and governments. So verily I say unto you that whosoever shall say unto this mountain, be thou removed and be thou cast into the sea, and shall not doubt in his heart, but shall believe in those things which he say shall come to pass, he shall have whatsoever he said. So showing, just like we read earlier, the prophets of old prophesied against many kingdoms, countries, nations, of war. So this is the same way through the Spirit. Okay, we don't, as Israel, we don't take to the street, protest, march, react carnal, get mad, beat up somebody, shoot somebody, even when it comes to the voting booth. Okay, no. Okay, the Lord is giving us, he said, you cried unto me, call unto me, speak my word. Okay, that's what moves empires. That's what shake things up. And this is what's happening in the earth. All right, let's grab St. Mark 3:27. No man can enter, no man can enter into a strong man's house and spoil his goods, except he will first bind the strong man, and then he will spoil his goods. Okay, so the strong man in this case, say Esau, the so-called white man, everything he's built and things of that nature. Okay, only way to overcome that, okay, through the Spirit, you bind that strong man. This is what the word does. Binding that strong man. Okay, when you bind something, let me see some. I want to get a quick Google definition. Let's see.
Here's the definition of bind: tie or fasten something tightly.
Okay, they said fasten something tightly. Let me get some more. Tie up, or fasten. So to tie up, or fasten. So no man enter into the strong man house if he first bind the strong man. So we're tying up. Like say some tied up in a rope. You tying some up, you fasten some so it can't get a loose. Well, this is what this word is doing through the Spirit. Esau, the so-called white man, he's being bound through this word being taught the right way, who being spoken, prophesied. All right, so let's go back. No man can enter into a strong man's house and spoil his goods, except he will first bind the strong man, and then he will spoil his goods. Okay, so that's what's happening now through the Spirit. The prophet speaking this word is binding Esau's hands. And what's next? The spoiling of his goods through the Spirit, the coming of our Lord to take down the nations, what set up the kingdom. All right, precept. Let's get Matthew 18:18. Verily I say unto you, whatsoever ye shall bind on earth shall be bound in heaven, and whatsoever ye shall loose on earth shall be loosed in heaven, showing you spiritual warfare. Whatsoever you bind on earth. So when we speak this word on earth, we just read what bind is: to tie up, to fasten. The Lord is confirming it in the heavens. He's moving. He say, okay, you speaking it, I'm going to agree with it in the heavens to bind it. Whatever you loose on earth shall be loosed in heaven. We know what it is to loose something. Or tear down those strongholds, to free something. If something is currently bound or tied up in bondage, if you loosen it, you're freeing it. So whatever we loose on earth, we're loosing the curses of the white man. We're loosing the things that's been put over our nation from the white man, and the spiritual blindness and darkness and all the lies. We're being loosed from that. And the Lord is agreeing with it and confirming it in the heavens. Let's get verse 19. Again, I say unto you, if again I say unto you that if two of you shall agree on earth as touching anything that they shall ask, it shall be done for them, and my Father which is in heaven. And what is this showing you? Verse 19, our weaponry is even more powerful. Our spiritual sword is more powerful in numbers. The more we have in agreement, okay? That's why it's more powerful. Nothing, whether in any aspect of life, from a personal relationship to whatever, you got two that agree in one. Okay, the more we agree in the spirit or come together, that just forms a more super type of weapon. Okay, so this is what's happening as the elect is waking up all over the earth. Okay, all been scattered throughout the four corners of earth and waking up and tapping into our weaponry is becoming more and more powerful to the point to where you see what's happening in the earth. Okay, let's see. Let's get Revelations 11:8. No, let me pick it up at okay, let's pick it up at 5. Revelations 11:5. And if any man will hurt them, fire proceeded out of their mouth and devoured their enemies. And if any man will hurt them, he must be in this manner killed. Now, who is the them that is talking about? This is the Lord, the two witnesses that's going into what? Israel and Judah, the two kingdoms that's waking up, the elect of those nations. Okay, if any man will hurt or come against them, fire will proceed out of their mouth. Now, that's twofold, because the elect, the 144 elect men of the Lord, will be given actual physical, spiritual power. Okay, so it's literal in a sense, but also what? Pertaining to this lesson, this is more spiritual. Okay, as we read, even with Yahushua, okay, that sword that proceeded out of his mouth, Revelation 19:15, okay, spiritual. Okay, so physical right here, but also spiritual. This is what's happening now in the spirit, that fire is proceeding out of the prophet's mouth, okay, that spiritual fire, and it's consuming everything. Just like we read Jeremiah 5:14. All right, let me read that again. If any man will hurt them, verse 5, and if any man will hurt them, fire proceed out of their mouth and devour their enemies. And if any man will hurt them, he in this manner must be killed. Verse 6, these have power to shut up heaven, that it rain not in the days of their prophecy, and have power over the waters to turn them into blood, and to smite the earth with all plagues as often as they will. And the elect man of the Lord has that type of power through the Spirit. Okay, remember, just like Elijah rained fire down from heaven and all of these things. And what's St. John 14:12 saying? Greater works than these ye shall do. So the Lord is coming to time real soon. The Lord is going to turn his men up. Okay, he's going to unleash that type of actual spiritual power. Okay, we're going to see all kind of miracles. Same miracles we read about in the Bible, and what the Lord gave the disciples, the apostles, to everything from healing to walking on water to the Lord is going to give us those. He's going to unlock those type of mysteries and secrets of the universe and give his man that type of power. Okay, that's what is it? Psalms 110:3. In the day of thy power, thy people shall be willing. Okay, so that's coming also. But right now, this is what he has given us, and it's more than enough through the Spirit. All right, let me go and grab one more before we go. Let's get Jeremiah 51:19. The portion of Jacob is not like them, for he is the former of all things. And Israel is the rod of his inheritance. The Lord of hosts is his name. Thou art my battle axe and weapons of war. See that? For with thee I will break in pieces the nations, and with thee I will destroy kingdoms. And with thee I will break in pieces the horse and his rider. And with thee I will break in pieces the chariots and his rider. What is that going into? Horse and his riders and chariots. That's military might and power. Okay, so anything that the nations come against the elect men and the Lord in the last days, the Lord said, I'm going to give them that power to overcome. He's giving it the power now through the Spirit to tear it down. Verse 22. With thee also I will break in pieces man and woman, and with thee I will break in pieces old and young, and with thee I will break in pieces the young man and the maid. I will also break in pieces with thee the shepherd and his flock, and with thee I will break in pieces the husbandman and his yoke of oxen, and with thee I will break in pieces captains and rulers. All right, let me read verse 25. I am against thee, O destroying mountain, said the Lord, which destroyed all the earth. And I will stretch out my hand upon thee and roll thee down from the rocks, and I will make thee a burnt mountain. Now, this is prophesied about the destruction of Babylon. Okay, the Lord say, I am against thee, O burnt mountain. Okay, but right now, what has that mountain on fire? The word through the Spirit. Okay, Jeremiah 5:14. Is not my word like a fire? It's consuming everything that's unlike the Lord. And, just being real, everything about this kingdom is rooted in wickedness. Okay, what is this right now? Pride Month. One example. Okay, you see the judgment of the Lord on this place. Everything that's happening. There's physical fires breaking out everywhere. Burning up Look, it's not just California. It's in any type of rural areas and things. Okay, you got the sun hotter than ever. Okay, fish, everything dying in the sea. Okay, you got more plagues, pandemics coming up on this earth, more violence, more rumors of wars than it's ever been. Okay, so you see all of these things happening. You would think any type of wise nation, a king, a ruler, some will be, well, you know what? We need to repent. We need to cry out to the Lord. Looks like the Lord's hand is against us right now. Look like something ain't right. Okay, but no, not Babylon. See? Not the white man, no. It get worse and worse and worse. Just pumping their finger in the Most High face, basically. See? So this is what all this is going into. All right? So, once again, we're going to go ahead and close it out right there. But remember, the Lord has given us a weapon, a sword in the spirit, this word. Tapping into who we are, meditating on these scriptures day and night to the point to why these scriptures now become alive in you. See, and that's when you tap into access spiritual power. Okay, true power when the word literally becomes alive in you. Like Hebrews 4:12, the word of the Lord is powerful, alive, sharper than any two-edged sword. Okay, and this is what we're doing. We're tapping into our sword. Okay, so I pray that this lesson has been edifying. Once again, wisdom is better than war. With that, I want to say shalom. To the next one, shalom.